Hi, if you are seeing this, I feel like you are meant to hear this message. I feel like it's meant for you. And of course, this is a safe space where you're always very welcome. I do also have like readings, services, intention items. There are thousands of 5-star reviews. Everything is on shopmoonlightguidance.com and also my Etsy store. And I'm here to do your reading. You know, you are a stable, loving person. You are someone that does not go out of your way, and you really don't lie, steal, cheat, and do this kind of stuff. You're not, from what I'm seeing, you're not someone that is like someone with like sociopathic tendencies. You're not that kind of person. You're not at all trying to ruin people's lives. You're not trying to get in the way of people's lives. You just want to live peacefully, and you want to have abundance, you want to be successful, and you want to be seen by the right people and live a good life, and you just want to be happy. That's what I'm seeing here. And unfortunately, I do feel that people sort of try to get in the way of your happiness. The King of Pentacles just shows that you are such a peaceful person. You are such a loving person. And more than anything, you give a lot, okay? Whether that is time, money, energy, respect. You are someone that people really, really look at, and a lot of people trust you, because you're very consistent, and that's the King of Pentacles energy, okay? Whether you're male or female, I read energies in tarot, not specifically genders. You are so trustworthy, you are so loving, you are so kind, you are so, so gracious, and you are very, very good at communicating, okay? So you are, you always get your point across. If there's something you like, if there's something you don't like, if there's something you want, if there's something you don't want, you will always try to get your point across. But I definitely do believe here, especially with the 5 of Cups, I could sense it in my gut, that there are people here that sort of knock over the things that you're trying to do, okay? Like you're trying to put the cups up and then they just kick them over and they just walk on with their day, and you're just like, excuse me, like what? Like how can you? You've definitely dealt with a specific person, I feel here, who has really, really broken your trust. And this person is someone who probably threw it back onto you. And what I mean by that is there's an energy here of blame shifting. So they did something that was not nice towards you, okay? And they may have then blamed the fact that you got angry, okay? Whereas they don't look at what created that anger. They don't look at their reaction. They don't look at their action. They look at your reaction and then point it back to you like, but you're so angry, and they don't look at why and what they've done. They don't look at the root cause. And so this is the kind of person you've dealt with, because you're very straightforward. And it's almost like, in that moment, I feel what's happened here is that you've tried to bring out receipts. You've been like, well, no, but this is what you did, and this is how you did it, and this is how it impacted me. And it's almost like you have to over explain to this person what their behavior was and how it impacted you. And then they'll just blame it back on, they'll just frame it back onto you and be like, don't be so disrespectful, or something like that, or you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, you're too this, you're too that. And it can really, really bother you, because you're thinking to yourself, they're not even looking at what they've done, they're just trying to now blame me for what I'm saying. And that is what you have dealt with, okay? You have been invalidated so, so deeply by this person, whereas all you've been doing is being a peaceful person, minding your business, doing your thing, being communicative, being consistent, being decisive, being loving, and going out of your way to give time and energy and respect in return. And you are met with someone that comes along and kicks down the things that you've worked really, really hard to build. But not only that, right? They have made you feel like you have a loss of your self-confidence and self-esteem, okay? They have literally made you feel frustration in humanity. And you have literally thought to yourself, how can a person come in and say all of the right things, do all of the right things, and then literally, as I am so, connected to this person and I feel, a deep trust towards them, they just break it in an instant and they expect me to be okay with it. How is that possible? And it frustrates you so much, because they've turned it onto you, and all you did was try to help them. All you did was be there for them. All you did was respect them and trust them in accordance to what they need. And in the end, they didn't even care about your needs. They didn't even care about how they were treating you. They didn't even have enough empathy to realize how they were treating you. And it just boggles your mind, because you're like, wait a second, this person showed that they had some form of empathy, but then in the end, they completely disrespected me. And that is literally how you feel. You feel unbelievably disrespected by this person, okay? You literally think to yourself, like, how? Because I'm also picking up on energies of gaslighting where, you know, they've said certain things to you, and then when you bring it up, they're like, I never said that. You've taken it wrong. That's not what I said. You know, and you're like, no, but you definitely did say that. And I think because the thing here, right, is I see you as someone that's very, very empathic and very kind. And unfortunately, you know, when a person is super kind and empathic, you know, you think both sides. You don't just think like, I'm always right, right? You always try to understand the other person's perspective because you have empathy. And so therefore, when they say that, you actually question it. You actually think like, actually, you know what, did they actually say that? Or did I just take it wrong? And that's the thing that I'm picking up on here, is because you are so empathic, you always, you know, you do think like, oh, actually, did I take it wrong or something? And the truth here is, no, you didn't take it wrong. They're just basically being, they were just a bit manipulative, They were manipulative, okay, in that situation and in that sense. And it's them, it's not you. And I don't think you should blame yourself for this, okay? Especially with the Knight of Wands. They like to sweep things under the carpet as quickly as possible. They don't like to remain in conflict. Whoever this is someone that's very conflict avoidant, okay? They do not like conflict. I think from a young age, they have always been taught to avoid conflict, to sweep over conflict. It's never my fault. It's never this. It's never that. You know, and if they do anything wrong, it's almost like, you know, if they have had parents as well, their parents very, very quickly point blame to other people, or point blame in such a way where it's almost like they make themselves feel better. So for example, you know, they could say something like, oh, you know, let's say a person's done something bad to you here, right? And they might say, well, my friend's never had a problem with me, you know, and they frame it in such a way so that they make themselves feel better and look better, and as though they can't do anything wrong because, you know, their friend never has a problem with them. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I feel like they've grown up and they've been raised in a way to just take a detour, sweep things under the carpet, not look at themselves. Let's just move on. Let's not address the elephant in the room, okay? It's like, let's just put a blanket over all of this mess and just pretend that mess does not exist, when in reality it does, okay? So, Justice. This is karma. This is karma. This is justice being served. Now, what this means here is that something is going to happen. Now, I'm a messenger. I simply provide you messages from tarot with divination from me to you from the cards, right? I don't wish people ill. I don't wish people bad, but the universe does give lessons to people. And what I'm seeing is that the universe is going to serve a dish of serious lessons to this person based on what they did to you, okay? So if you've ever been wondering, like, will this person get karma for what they did to me? The answer is a very strong yes, okay? So, you know, I don't wish people ill. I know that you also don't, but this person will get major, major karma. The Ten of Swords here shows that something they really want in their life will not work out, and that is really going to bother them, okay? It's really going to bother them because this is an opportunity that they have absolutely wanted. They've absolutely, you know, wanted for a very, very long time. It's a very big opportunity for some of them, okay? It could be love related or it could be career related, but it's something that they have really thought was a big, big fit for them, and that is not going to work out. And when it doesn't work out, they will have, because I feel like whatever this opportunity is, their toxic traits will basically show up, and that person's not going to stand for it, okay? Whether it's a career opportunity or a love opportunity for them, that person on the other side is not going to stand up for this person's behavior, okay? They are literally going to be like, this is BS, I can't believe you did this, you know? Because the thing is, right, their toxic traits sort of stem from within themselves and how they've grown up, and that doesn't necessarily change in the near future towards this situation, right, this situation, and that person's just going to get fed up, and at that point they're going to realize that you did so much and you always forgave, you always did, and that they never tried to understand you and respect you for who you are. They always just try to sweep things under the carpet, and that is going to give them a lot of deep reflection in regards to how they treated you, because they'll realize that someone else has had a problem with them, but this someone else is tied to something they really, really wanted, okay? And it's going to really push them into deep, deep reflection. Like, they will literally be, they'll have so much embarrassment that I don't even think they'll be able to look anyone in the face for a long time. You cannot make this up. They will have so much embarrassment and so much guilt that they will not be able to look at anyone. Look at that. This person is literally like hiding in shame. This is going to happen to your person. I'm not even joking. A lot of people are going to find out about it because I feel like words will go round, rumors will swell, but these rumors won't be just rumors, right? A lot is going to happen in that sense. So I'm just saying, whoever did this to you, they're going to be hiding with embarrassment, shame, and guilt, and that is your reading. But people will find out about their gaslighting tendencies and their lies and all this kind of stuff. People are going to find out, and it's just going to make them more embarrassed. This is your reading. If this resonates, please like, comment down below, subscribe. Of course, I have personal services, readings, items, and rituals. I do have the justice ritual. I have so many different rituals for love, money, marriage, career, success, beauty, justice, healing, black magic removal, protection, etc. There's also as well intention items like candles, bracelets, necklaces, pom-poms, tassels, sage bundles, and so much more. And of course, there is as well readings done within 12 to 24 hours. And I also have TikTok and Instagram. I post free short readings on there every single day. TikTok is Moonlight Guidance, Instagram is moonlight.guidance, and I will see you all very soon.